Hi.
We're here with Serge Modular.
Random source, Serge Modular.
Sorry.
Yes. No, it's both. Both, actually. Yes, welcome. We are again at Superbooth with Serge and also some Hybler modules.
So that's what we're gonna look at, the Hybler living VCOs, right?
Yes, and the Serge variable bandwidth. That's also a brand new module. Next to it, we see the Orpheus, which is a headphone, amp, and power module, which is also new. And the skiff, the Eurorack skiff, which is kind of an experimental stage at this point. Yes, and this is the Eurorack range. And on top of that, we have the 4U range, the classic banana jacks and Pomona cord range that is still around.
Okay, we'll have a look at the 4U stuff in a bit, but let's just talk us through what the new stuff is then.
Okay, the variable bandwidth filter is one of Serge's classic filters. It's in core, it's really two filters that are in serial order and but share the control, CV control, and that allows for various combinations and lots of outputs. We have 6 outputs, and so for drone sounds and for sort of shifting bands, you can do lots of things with that. It has no resonance, so the sound is clear and goes straight through. But it's for sound mingling and shaping a very powerful tool.
So you've got a bit of a kind of patch going on. Can we hear a bit of what is it that we're going to be listening to?
Yes, sure. This is sort of only a semi-ready patch, but it should be okay to sort of get an impression, hopefully. So what we hear is the filter now, and we can turn this up. This is just the frequency, and if we... As you can hear, you can thin it out to basically nothing.
So I can hear you've got a bit of, is that just VCO modulation? So
yes,
it's just,
exactly. And due to the nature of the filter, depending on how the two bands overlap, you either get a lot of sound or no sound, and so it's the classic Serge variable bandwidth with an added switch that's a control that hasn't been there in the past, and that Serge himself came up with recently. So that's basically a new incarnation for Eurorack. And the Hybler Living VCO is also Jürgen Heibler's classic combination of 3 VCOs with which he tried to emulate vintage VCOs and appropriate their behavior. And we kind of added a number of features like sine output, triangle output, sync input, Heibler's VCA distortion in the driver section, and we made it skiff friendly. So it's a crazy part count, but we squeezed this onto one PCB, so it fits into the skiff now. And it will be available now as a complete module. In the past, it's only been DIY.
So in terms of like the feature set of the living VCO, what have we got here? We've got 3 VCOs, obviously, but is there any kind of special features that are unique to this VCO?
Yes, I mean, Jürgen tried to emulate, as I said, the old VCOs, so the noisy transistor pair. It has the linear detune, which is probably rather rare. And
is that what we're hearing come through the VCO at the moment? We are hearing that VCO, right?
Yes. We're using the living VCOs at this point. It has the driver section, so you can control all 3 of them or individual ones, and then you also have your portamento, which then works for all 3, or the ones that are tracking. You have the vibrato added. So it's basically, yeah, it's wonderful for drones, and it's very versatile. And in one way, we kind of deviated from the design, as it used to be not so good in tracking, and we made some changes. So by now, the tracking is very decent.
So, do you have any kind of idea of when these will be available and price points?
Price points, no, not yet, but they should be available straight after Superbooth.
Okay, excellent. Okay,
They've already come out of production.
Ralph, thank you very much.
Thank you.